Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Greta. A lot of you are really excited to start getting into the fall fragrances. You want to know what to start shopping for or what to pull out of your shelves or to get some new ideas for what you might want to look to shop for. I'm dying over here because we're having like a massive heat wave. So I'm not really dressed the part, but I'm here for it because I do love my gourmands and oh, full gourmands are something else, right? So I have that for you. And yeah, let's get into it. All right, let's get into this. The first one, some of these are new from 2023. Some of these are from 2022. They have not, like October is a big month for drops. So I kind of like waiting on this video, but I know everyone gets antsy for fall in September, but October, and I will be in France later for a lot of these launches, and I'll keep you posted on them and kind of what I have my eye on and what I'm liking. But those new drops aren't here yet, but there are a lot here from 2022 and 2023. I think there's a couple, like maybe two that are from before that, but let's get into this. So the first one, I believe, is from last year. No, this one is from 2021, and it's by Carolina Herrera in the Confidential Collection, which is the Privé collection, and it's Amethyst Haze. I got this last year, though. Oh my goodness, I love this one. Amethyst Haze, to me, is a really cozy fragrance, but it also has this coffee that's definitely evident. It opens a little bit where the cardamom is kind of mentholated kind of feel to it, but that passes really quickly. And then it is like this lavender milk with coffee and this like cozy, rich vanilla that I just love this one. And it definitely gives a warmth on cooler days where it just screams fall into winter for me. Maybe on like a rainy day on the early fall days. But this is one that I'm really looking forward to trying again because it's not one I can wear in the warmer weather. But gosh, is this one good. The next one was launched in 2023, but very early in the year. It was supposed to be launched in the fall of 2022, which it would have been perfect for. It's just one of those shames where they miss their launch and then they're not quite as aligned with the season. This is one of those fragrances where you really need to wear it in season where it's not very appealing smelling if it's out of season. And it's by Unique Luxury Mashumaro, which is Japanese for marshmallow. And this is literally like you're toasting a marshmallow over a campfire. It smells so doggone good, but this is literally the time of year that it is so perfect for the end of summer when the nights are getting a little bit cooler. You're just getting into the crisp air of the very early fall, and it just hits the spot so perfectly. Oh, this one it's that toasted marshmallow. It's almost like it starts as a marshmallow, and as it develops, it starts to get toasted, and then it richens up, and you get more of this like caramel praline kind of scent to it. The caramel is almost like a lactonic-y kind of milky caramel. Like, this is so good. This is such a good cozy fragrance. Like, it just screams like late summer, early fall campfires. Like, but there's no fire in it, but there's a little bit of like the wood stick to the marshmallow gets just singed just a touch. It's perfect. I absolutely love Mashumaro. This next one is also from 2022, but I didn't get it till this year. And it's by Kalotinis and it's Velvet Chocolate. I don't know what it is. I just, when it comes to fall, that's where I really like my chocolate fragrances. And again, I am still a little picky with my chocolate fragrances, but I just love them in fall. I don't know what that is. Oh, this one to me just smells like a fresh baked chocolate cake, like almost bordering on brownies. I just absolutely love this one. It does stay a little bit lighter on my skin, so it's not too heavy and rich where it's kind of like, okay, I'm full. I had enough cake. Like I get over it a little bit where it makes me hungry, then I start eating too much, and then I need to turn these lights down. They're kind of like, okay. Or I start eating too much, and then I'm just like over it, and then I'm like, okay, enough food around me. But if it's a lighter version, then I can just wear it all day long. But this kind of mellows out a little bit, which I actually like and makes it easier to wear. Shockingly, I mean, these are so affordable and they actually really last for me. I just love the chocolate cake. I was definitely late to the game on this one, but I really like this chocolate cake a lot. I was loving the lemon tart for summer, but now I'm really liking the chocolate. And the coffee. You know, the chocolate and the coffee mix really well together too. Coffee addict. It's kind of good. Yeah. Love this one. Velvet chocolate. The next one is also a chocolate fragrance. And again, I was worried. I was like, oh gosh, I hope I like it. I'm really funny about chocolate. It can't be too edible for me, but it's got to be tasty. And it was so perfect because to me, it's almost like a semi-sweet and it has all the most decadent notes in there. And it's by Navitus and it's Gabby's collaboration with them, Chocolate Queen. Oh, she did such a good job on this one. Oh my gosh. But again, fall is where I start to come back around to these fragrances. This one is just so stinking good and delicious. It's like you have chocolate batter and then you start sprinkling in a little bit of nuts and then you start swirling in the Bailey's cream and you have like this marbled kind of effect because you're still getting that chocolate, a little bit of like hazelnut, that creamy texture. To me, it's almost like a marbled fudge. It's so good. It gives also the most like a dusty kind of feel to this chocolate where there's a little bit of creaminess and a little bit of dustiness to it, where it just gives this gorgeous, like gourmand yet still fragrance kind of fragrance. There's only gourmand notes in here. Like there's no fruits, there's no florals. It's only the gourmands, but it somehow just is so good in that it comes off this like fluffy, dusty, kind of powdery chocolate dessert that is just to die for. She did a really good job on this. I do have another bottle of this too to back this up, which I might have to need soon. But yeah, Chocolate Queen by Gabby and Navitus. Really love this one this time of year. In fact, I might have to wear this one today. Can't stop smelling it. Okay. Next up is from 2018. It's a little older. I think I've only had it like a year and a half though. And it is by Atelier Matieiri and it is Cacao Porcelana. Oh, this is a yummy one. This is another one that I can't wait to start wearing again once fall comes back around. This one is so delicious. Um, it has this almost like boozy, like there's an almond kind of feel to it to me, even though there's no almond listed. To me, it's this like cacao chocolate pod with a little bit of boozy almond, this dusty kind of cocoa. There's definitely floral in there, but the floral doesn't take the center stage. It's kind of just making it not just a pure gourmand. Gabby's is just really gourmand and more dessert, more about the cocos and the caramels and the hazelnuts and all of that. There is floral in here, and you can kind of feel that. That immortale kind of gives this like dizzy kind of feeling to me. You can get really, oh, like this vanilla really comes through with the vanilla and the cocoa and that little bit of booziness. And this one is so good. The dry down though to me really is like a fluffy, dusty kind of cacao powder to me. But this is such a good one in the fall time. I absolutely love this. Love, love. As soon as there's a little bit of chill in the air. The next one is from 2022. I was a little late to the game on this one, but I'm here for it now. Trust me, I'm here for it now. And I definitely went back and forth a little bit on my opinion of this. It was so hyped up, and the problem with being really hyped up is it sets you up for disappointment because you put it way up here and then it's like, oh, well, that wasn't like what I expected. Either it's just painted a little differently for you than what you expected. Just it just sets you up for failure. So my first sniff on it, and I was like, oh, it's not what I thought, being what people said about it. It is not this beast fragrance, which I kind of thought it would be. It is by Epico and it's Vani Charnel. However, once I just tried it like three times, I think, and I really got to understand it, I was like, I think it's just a little misrepresented here. This fragrance, yes, it comes out the gate like a really gorgeous caramelized kind of vanilla, but it tones down and then it is the most incredible, like purring kind of vanilla that is a caramelized vanilla with this fluffy kind of vibe, and it just purrs. That's what it does. And it's just there, and it's just like humming its little motor for you. I find it so sexy, so comforting, so delicious that, gosh, I love this one. And I'm a little bummed that it's like, this little hype wave, and then a lot of people disappointed because they kind of got the wrong impression on it. But this one is just so darn good. But no, it is not like a clubbing fragrance. I mean, that's just not what I get from it. I don't get that kind of beast vibe at all. But fall weather, which to me, I always kind of look for something cozy because the weather turns cold. And that's what's so attractive about fall, right? Granted, we don't really have a fall here in Southern California. It's really weird. I mean, September is our heat wave month. October's still really warm. We get sporadic, really hot days. It takes till November for us to really get cold weather. But I always do crave just coziness, like snuggling. Believe it or not, I'm really big on lighting my fireplace too, but I just love that snuggle, cozy vibe. And this just really lends to that to me. And there's something, I don't know, like date night about it too to me. Because it just kind of makes you like kissable, like delicious. Like you just want to like nibble you up when you're wearing this. But that's the Vani Charnel. Like that's just what I get from it. But yeah, by Epico. One of the newer ones that I finally got my hands on that I did try this spring. It was a new release, but it took me a little while to find a bottle I could purchase. And gosh, I'm so happy because I really did fall in love with this in March. There's certain notes I just love, and I love lactonic. I love cherry. I know that, cherry, there's so many cherry fragrances, and it was certainly the note of 2022, but I'm not over it really. And nuts, and I just love all that. And it is by New Notes Latte de Cherry. I'm so in love with this. So in love with this fragrance. Excuse me. So in love with this. It's definitely a cherry almond fragrance that does have this milky vibe. I do get a little bit of that fresh rose in here. So it does kind of lend to the floral, but it just always has that gourmand thing in there. If you're into milky fragrances or cherry fragrances, I think you're really going to like this one. You should definitely get your nose on it. I mean, I do always endorse trying before you buy to some capacity. Gosh, yeah, if you're into that like I am, I think you're really going to like this one. It is just so darn good. Circling back to one that was really big last year, this is a house I'm absolutely in love with. It is like my top five, among my top five houses for me personally that I just love. And when I say that, it means like I really like everything that house puts out. I just, yeah, I just consistently love everything from them. I love Sora Dora, everything they have. They do have two new ones coming out in October-ish. I cannot wait. I will be adding those two to my store. I will have them in full bottles because I just love this house. I mean, as soon as I could add these to my store in full bottle. I had to. I love these people. I will see Dora in October also, when I go to see all those new releases. I did try the new releases in Milan, absolutely in love with them, but I also still love all these. Mandorle is one that I will absolutely circle back to now. If you like almond, this is very like almond vanilla with this like powdery, musky, fluffy kind of vibe that is so delicious and comforting at the same time. I love something with some texture that kind of like feels like the perfume is hugging you. I absolutely love that in a perfume. If you also like that, you're really going to like Mandorle. I think a lot of you have tried it already by now, but if you haven't, you definitely need to get your hands on this, or your nose on this at least. But yeah, it's definitely, Mandorle means almond in, I think, Italian, and then Mandeln is German. But yeah, so French, they do everything in French there. Oh man, this is so good. There's a little bit of caramel that comes through too later, just a touch. And it's like the vanilla almond gets a little bit of booziness. This one's so good. Now, maybe I want to wear this one today. Ooh. Yeah, this is just so decadent and good and comforting. A Mandorle by Dora. A brand new release that is finally now in the USA too. I was really happy to be able to bring this into the USA because it's a brand new house that I found in March in Milan. And I have, like, to say moved mountains to get this brand here is like the understatement of the year. It has been something else, but I know a lot of people want to know what this smells like. I think Gabby has this also because we found this together. And this is, now you all love the Sacred Bond, which is so easy to love, but there's also Illusion, which was the second one that I really loved and I had a hard time choosing, which was my favorite because, I mean, look at the pink. And yeah, it's because there's cotton candy in here. I love a cotton candy note. I love that really piercing, sweet candy kind of note in a fragrance. And this one is just done so different. And then I panic when I say, it's cotton candy with this dry saffron. I'm like, oh my gosh. When I say that, people are going to think Baccarat Rouge because it's nothing like Baccarat Rouge at all, which has a more airy feel. This has a more like dark, dry saffron that it's this dry saffron that's dried out that's it's so dry that it's almost ember like almost smoky. Not entirely smoky because I don't actually like smoky in fragrances, but there's something almost smoking, like it's embering and it wants to start smoking kind of a fragrance, along with this like gorgeous swirling of cotton candy just all around you that is throwing the most amazing sillage, but you have that like juxtaposition going on. And that first hour is such a crazy ride because it's almost like this symphony around you with notes. An illusion is the perfect name for it because of that. Because it's like notes coming from here and there, and you're like, is that me? Did that come from me? Is that the same? Because they feel like segmented in different sections of the air, that it is the coolest ride. But the first time, I'm not gonna lie, it like tripped me out. I was like, wait, what's going on here? Who are you? What is this? Like, wait, which one are you? It definitely tripped me out a little bit. And then after I wore it a few times, I understood it a little better. Gosh, and this is so good in the cool weather. I did wear it by accident in a heat wave in like 94 degrees weather. I wouldn't recommend that. It was definitely a lot in that kind of weather, and I was outdoors also, but I certainly got to understand it better. But this one is definitely, it has that warmth from the saffron in there. It definitely has like a woody, spicy kind of thing going on, where you also have this cotton candy, vanilla kind of soft, fluffy. So you have like these two different forces going on, swirling around in this fragrance, but it makes it so perfect for once there's a little bit of a chill in the air. Oof. I didn't want to wear this in the summer I loved it in the spring, and now I'm going back to it in the fall. And this is the perfect time. Like fall going into winter is just perfect for this fragrance. It's kind of like that saffron is blending with the wood, and the saffron is making the wood smell like it's in this really dry state about to spark, kind of like the sun comes down, it hits the wood, and it's about to create a flame, kind of. It just gives that feeling of the almost. It's really hard to explain, but absolutely love this fragrance. It is so good. You really got to try this one. There's definitely a little bit of freshness in the opening, but that goes away after like the first 20 minutes there, that like fresh burst that kind of opens it up a little bit. And it definitely gets richer on the dry down. But yeah, Illusion. One that is, again, just a classic for me in the fall time. And then as it leads into the holidays, this is one, oh, I just thought of another one I should have put in this list that this one reminds me of. But this one is Starlight by Xerjoff. I was just thinking of Manhattan by Raja also because they remind me of each other because they share a handful of notes and they both go into this like holiday baking kind of vibe for me. Where this one is kind of like an almond cookie with a little bit of cinnamon and a little bit of caramel in there. A little bit of spice again, a little bit of those cloves, but in a sweet cloves kind of way. Yeah, like a sweet caramel, cinnamon, almond kind of baked cookies kind of vibe with a lot of like ambery kind of volume to it. This one is a little bit more, a little less of that fluffy vibe like a lot of these have, and more of like this ambery, syrupy kind of vibe. Like the ambery, like syrupy waves going out is really how it feels versus a dusty, fluffy kind of vibe. But so, so good when it comes to like the Halloween, like October holidays and November holidays. This one is just so perfect for it. And again, Manhattan at Raja is another really good one like that, that I always think of when it gets a little bit later, more like November, December. I really love Manhattan, but this is definitely a classic. The next one is from last year. First, there was the first edition, which was Follow, and then this was the release in 2022, which is the follow-up to it, kind of almost flanker-like, but it's called Followed. And I think I like this one a lot better than Follow by Kerosene. A lot of people know Unknown Pleasures too. That was the first one I fell in love with from this house. I own those three. They're my favorites. This one is definitely heavy on the coffee, and it's like you're sitting outside in the cold and it's nighttime and you have a nice hot cup of coffee. It's definitely like a caramel macchiato kind of feel because it's really a very prominent coffee note in this fragrance that then smooths out and you start to get these other elements like your chocolate and your caramel. But it just seems to be focused on this mug that's right in front of your face, and that's what you're getting the most of. It is so delicious. You definitely have to like your coffee fragrances, but if you like your coffee fragrances with a lot of additional gourmand notes to it, you're definitely going to like this one. If you liked Follow, I think you'd also like Follow. They're different, but there's certainly a lot in common between them. But I think this one is my favorite. The Followed way more than Follow. Follow was more of a coffee fragrance, where this one has that coffee, the chocolate and the caramel in there too, where it just makes it more of this gourmand versus a coffee fragrance. So even though coffee's still prominent in here, all these other added gourmands just make it more to my liking. Because if I just want a straight coffee fragrance, I'm going to go with Coffee Addict by Kalotinis. But yeah, this one, it's definitely like you're having your coffee with a piece of chocolate cake with caramel drizzle to it, and it's so good. Yeah. Yeah, this one's good. And I don't really hear people talking about this very much. I heard a little bit about it at the launch, but I haven't heard a whole lot about this. Then again, it's been summer, and I think a lot of people aren't leaning into these fragrances that time of year. But I hope to hear a little bit more about this fall because it really is quite good. So those are 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. All right, so that was 11. Okay. So those are actually the quick 11 of like the best fall gourmands that I'm really looking forward to reaching for again. Again, there will be a lot more releases in October that I'm looking forward to, and I will of course feature those after I kind of poke around and figure out which ones of the new releases that I really like once I try some more, and I will definitely keep you posted on those. But these are ones that already came out last year and the year before that, yeah, I need to give them some more wearings because I absolutely love them. What are some of yours that you want to pull back out and put on your little perfume tray or start wearing again? I want to hear what you guys are wearing because I love my gourmands. So I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah.